You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling as the shadows shift across the plaster. The silence of the room amplifying the noise in your head. Or perhaps you're stuck in the mindless crawl of afternoon traffic, surrounded by red brake lights, and suddenly, a thought hits you, like a wave of ice water. I'm running out of time. It isn't just a thought. It is a physical sensation. A tightness in the throat. A sinking in the gut. You look at people 5 years younger than you who seem to have it all figured out. You see the career milestones on LinkedIn, the happy families on Instagram, the effortless freedom of those who seem to have cracked a code you haven't even found yet. You look back at your own life, and all you see is a map of the things you haven't done yet. The languages you haven't learned, the businesses you haven't started, the places you haven't traveled, the person you promised yourself you would become, but haven't met in the mirror yet. It is a frantic, hollow pressure in your chest. It feels like you are late for a very important meeting you didn't even know you scheduled. You aren't just busy. You are grieving. You are grieving for a life you haven't even finished living yet. You are grieving the potential that you feel is slipping through your fingers like dry sand. You are terrified that the best parts of your story have already been written, and you weren't even the one holding the pen. You fear that your biography will be a short story of almosts and could have been. You feel stuck because you are measuring the complexity of your soul against an imaginary calendar. We live in a world of digital acceleration, where we are force-fed the top 1% of outliers every single hour of the day. We see the 30 under 30 lists, the viral success stories, the sudden millionaires. This creates what I call the Milestone Trap. It is the toxic, pervasive belief that if you haven't hit certain markers by a specific age, you have somehow failed the test of being human. We treat life like a factory assembly line. If you haven't been stamped with success by age 25 or 30 or 40, you assume the machine is broken. You assume you are broken. But here is the irony. This anxiety doesn't actually make you work faster. It makes you freeze. It induces a state of paralysis. You are so worried about the lost years that you are completely paralyzed in the present moment. You sit there, staring at a blank screen or a blank wall, calculating how much time you've wasted, and in doing so, you waste more of it. You are spending your current, precious time worrying about your perceived lack of time. It is a cruel emotional paradox that robs you of the only thing you actually possess: the next 60 seconds. You are so busy looking at the clock, terrified of the hands moving, that you've forgotten to live the life the clock is measuring. You are sleepwalking through your days, haunted by a nightmare of a future that hasn't happened. Seneca wrote an entire masterpiece on this very feeling 2,000 years ago. It is called On the Brevity of Life. His conclusion was as simple as it was devastating. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Life is long enough, Seneca argues, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements, if it were all well invested. But when it is wasted in heedless luxury and spent on no good activity, we are forced at last by death's final constraint to realize that it has passed away before we knew it was passing. Seneca observed a profound contradiction in human nature. He noted that we are incredibly stingy with our money. If someone asked for your entire bank account, you would fight them. You would guard your property with your life. But we are shockingly wasteful with our time. The only thing for which it is actually virtuous to be greedy. We let people steal our hours with pointless gossip. We let corporations steal our attention with endless feeds. We let our own anxieties steal our presence with circular worrying. If you spend your day reacting to distractions, answering emails that don't matter, seeking validation from strangers, and worrying about what people think of you, you aren't living. You are just existing for a long duration. A Stoic knows that a person who lives fully for 1 hour, with total presence, focus, and character, has lived more than someone who wanders aimlessly through the world for a century. The grey hair and wrinkles are not proofs of living long. They are often just proofs of existing long. The goal isn't to get more time. The goal is to make the time you have count. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we stop the panic and reclaim sovereignty over our lives today? I want you to use these 2 mental shifts to restructure your relationship with time. First, the Time Leak Audit. For the next 24 hours, I want you to track every single minute. This isn't about being productive or becoming a hustler. It is about awareness. It is about seeing where you are giving away your life. Most of us feel like we have no time because our time is leaking out of 1,000 tiny holes. The 15 minutes scrolling in the morning, the 20 minutes worrying about a conversation that happened 3 years ago, the hour spent consuming news that you cannot influence. How much of your limited time on this earth are you donating to people you don't even like? Or to apps that are designed to make you feel miserable? When you see the leaks, you realize you don't actually need more time. You have plenty of it. You just need to stop throwing it away into the void. You need to plug the holes. Second, the internal deadline. Stop comparing your timeline to the world's timeline. The world's calendar is a lie. It is a marketing construct designed to sell you things to fix your inadequacy. Define what a successful day looks like for you, regardless of your age, your status, or your bank account. Stop looking at the 10-year plan and look at the 24-hour plan. Did you act with character today? Did you focus deeply on your work for even 1 hour? Were you kind to those around you? Did you improve, even by 1%? If the answer is yes, you've won. Period. The ticking clock stops being a threat when you realize that the only person you are racing is the version of you that wants to give up. You cannot be behind in your own life, because it is your life. You are the author, not the audience. You aren't late. You aren't behind. You are exactly where you need to be to make a different choice. The feeling of panic you have, that isn't a sign of failure. It is a wake-up call. It is your soul banging on the door, asking you to wake up and pay attention to the miracle of being alive right now. The clock is ticking. That is a fact. But you are the one who decides what those seconds actually mean. You can treat them as enemies, or you can treat them as gifts. Seneca said, "Put every day under review." Don't let a single day pass without ceasing it. Not in a frantic rush, but in a calm, deliberate embrace of the present. If you're ready to stop rushing through your existence and start building a life of real substance, then subscribe and join us. We are on day 14 of 30, and the journey is just beginning to find its rhythm. We are building a fortress of the mind, brick by brick. Check the link in the description for our full mental discipline series. Stop watching the clock. Start watching your actions. Own your time. Do not let it own you. Stay stoic.